Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be taking you through the process of how I plan and prepare for Pesach, otherwise known as Passover. As a convert, I really found it difficult the first few years after my conversion to plan and prepare for the holidays properly and efficiently. I had no clue. I was just completely lost, but we have been observing the holidays for about 5 years now in their full Orthodox fashion, and I have learned a lot in that time, which I am going to be sharing with you in this video, and I hope you will find it helpful.
So much we did together as seasons go by.
The first tip is to start early. I would suggest between 3 to 6 weeks ahead of time, depending on your situation. For example, I had a baby 2 weeks before Pesach last year, so I knew things were going to get very hectic as we approached the holiday. So I tried to get things done in advance as much as possible. So Pesach this year starts on Friday the 15th of April, and it runs for the 8 days. So what I would do is make a note. Like I said, 3 to 6 weeks ahead of time. I started about 5 weeks. I made that note. I would recommend doing this in general, like whenever you get a new calendar or a new planner, just go through it and make notes ahead of all of the big holidays throughout the year. This will just give you a reminder and make sure you have enough lead time whenever there's a holiday, so you are sure to give yourself enough time to get everything done. So tip number 2 is going to be make an inventory and write everything down. Make a plan. So I'm just reading because I made notes. If you see me looking down all the time, that's what I'm reading from. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. So yeah, so you're going to make a plan. So this is, if you're having any guests, you want to make sure that you know how many people that you're going to be having over. That's really important to know. So lists, schedules, and menus. Those are the 3 components of your plan that you're going to create, and also your inventory. What I mean by inventory is, myself, I like to save certain items from Pesach from year to year, certain food items, dry goods that will keep, canned things, and stuff like matzah meal and cake, what do they call it? Cake meal, I guess. So usually they'll all go on sale after Pesach, and I like to scoop up a few cans and I will store it till the next year. It's just so much cheaper, and that's a good way that you can save money. So go through and inventory everything, that all the supplies that you have, and also go through things like your cleaning products. You don't want to come to cleaning day, come to clean your oven and realize that you have no oven cleaner, for example. So, done that. Yeah, so guest list, inventory, scheduling. So, when it comes to scheduling, there's a lot that has to happen as far as cleaning. And if you work a day job, then you really have to pace yourself well. Otherwise, you're just going to get overwhelmed at the end, because my biggest problem is I'm a terrible procrastinator, and I will leave things till the last minute and then get very overwhelmed and just like have a nervous breakdown. So, but I'm trying to improve that. When I feel that urge to procrastinate, I tell myself, no, you just have to go and get it done. Which leads me into tip number 3, do a little bit every day. So for me, we have a family, we have 4 kids now, and it is just much easier for me to pace myself and do a little bit every day rather than waiting and trying to do a big blitz at the end and get it all done. I can't. I don't have those big chunks of time to just get everything done in 3 days. It's not my reality at this point in my life. So, but depending on your situation, that may work for you. But if you have a family like me, that is definitely something that has helped me, is doing a little bit every day. Tip number 4 is to find and use a Pesach guide. These are publications put out every year. Shh, Emma's filming. Shh. These are publications put out every year by all the major kosher certifying agencies such as OU, Star K, CRC, MK. They all do one, and there's actually a really good website called kashrut.com, and it's actually a database where they have compiled links to all the different certifying agencies that put out these Pesach guides. So if you go on this website, you can find many different Pesach guides. I have a hard copy one from the COR, which is Canadian. The problem that I have is that these guides are not geared towards Sephardim or Sephardic Jews. We are not actually Sephardic. We are Idot Mizrach, which is Jews from the Middle East. Sephardic Jews are specifically Jewish people from Spain and that area of the world. But my husband's family is, but a lot of the customs that we follow are similar to Sephardic. So the Pesach guide that I like to use is put out by the West Coast Rabbinical Court of Beverly Hills, and they do one called Freedom of a Nation, the Laws of Pesach for Sephardic. And it is specifically for people that follow Sephardic customs. And the biggest difference between how Sephardic Jews and Ashkenaz Jews do Pesach is the fact that Ashkenaz people avoid kitniot. And kitniot is a whole class of food that is not chametz, but because it was a stringency that Ashkenaz Jews took upon themselves many generations ago, now it's become halacha for them to continue doing this. But Sephardic and Idot Mizrach Jews do not follow this stringency, and we do consume kitniot on Pesach. And there's also other differences in the way that we kosher some things, such as glass. So that is very important to know, is what is your tradition, what is your background, your heritage, whether or not you're Ashkenaz, Sephardic, Idot Mizrach. Because that is going to determine what stringencies you are going to be observing during this holiday. You drank all my coffee. Okay. So that's it. You have to do your research. You have to know what your tradition is. And then you have to go look for a guide that is in line with that tradition and do that. And moving on now to tip number 5, keep it simple. It's really easy to think, oh, you have to overhaul your menu and you have to eat totally different foods on Pesach. If you look at your meals, what you're already eating on a regular basis, there's probably a lot of dishes that you're already making that are kosher for Pesach, such as different soups and stews, potato-based dishes, egg-based dishes. What I like to do is look at the menus, look at the meals I'm already making on a regular basis throughout the year, and focus on the things that we can have that would be kosher for Pesach. And chances are you're already making a lot of things that if you just swap out 1 or 2 ingredients for something that is kosher for Pesach, you will make the whole dish kosher for Pesach. If it calls for flour, you can use perhaps potato starch. You don't have to go and find all new recipes for your menus for Pesach. There's probably a few simple tweaks that you can make to your recipes to have them be kosher for Pesach. So I wanted to show you the list of things that I'm planning on making for this Pesach. When it comes to meal planning, I am very terrible at it. I prefer to just write down several different dishes and then figure out when I'm going to be eating it at a later point, depending on how much time I have or what's going on that day. So I just write down the menu items and then I shop for those ingredients, and I know that I have everything on hand to make those dishes. But as for scheduling, I don't necessarily put it on a schedule. So here I have sweet treats. I'm doing black bean brownies, mini coconut tartlets, and halva stuffed dates. Fish, I am going to be doing my own gravlax, which I just bought a whole salmon and I'm very excited for that. I plan to make a video on how I do that. Pesto pinwheels, salmon or trout, and gefilte fish. And here I just wrote down some breakfast ideas: mini quiches, Pesach pancakes, matzah egg rolls, dips and salads. I have quite a list. Can you turn it down? Eggplant mushroom dip, matbucha, hummus, tahina, pesto, haroset. Main dishes are going to be kube and schnitzel. These are meat. I didn't write down my side dishes yet. I don't know. I'm probably going to just do rice and kugel. Condiments, mayonnaise, salad dressing, and pear sauce. And obviously my child got a hold of this paper and practiced their artwork on it. So yeah, these are the things I'm going to be making for this Pesach. Here's what I have for the cleaning schedule. I only wrote down the 2 weeks that are right before Pesach because that's when things get really intense. The bedrooms were already done earlier. I try to do those 3 weeks ahead of time. And then I have cleaning the freezer on the 3rd, sorting rice, shopping. Thursday and Friday, I kept those pretty clear just so I can get the preparations done for Shabbat. I will be cleaning the living room as well on Thursday. On the Sunday before Pesach, I will be doing the ovens and stovetop and fridge. The oven especially is a pretty big job, so I want to make sure I have time to do that. The cupboards I'm going to do on Monday. Also a grocery haul. On Tuesday, I'm going to do the full kitchen switch over, so I'm going to be removing all of the chametz dishes from the kitchen, from the drawers, and putting all our Pesach dishes there. And also koshering any items such as pots. I'm going to make haroset and soak the beans so I can get cooking already on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, I'm going to shop for produce, make dips, desserts, and condiments, and make sure to remove the meat from the freezer that I will need on Thursday. When I go to cook the mains, I'm going to prep sides and salads. Bedikat hametz is the search for hametz that you do in the evening of Erev Pesach. And then Friday is just going to be assembling the salads, cooking whatever's left to cook. And it's also Erev Pesach on Friday night. So that is it for my tips, guys. I hope this video was enjoyable and helpful to you.